And there's more changes that are going to come, but we promise you that once these come through, and at the end of it, that your planet will be full of different vibrational levels that you've never experienced. And I'm going to tell you that as you open up to experiencing these things, it comes from your heart-centered energy, and it flows throughout the atmosphere, and it connects others. And we encourage you to embrace this change and open up and embody these higher vibrational levels so that as one, you can all grow and you all learn and you all embrace your heart centers to be spread around the world for healing and for giving and for unity.
Hello and welcome. Welcome to the Daily Soul Bytes show. I am your host, Bolaabimbola, frequency alchemist, intuitive life coach, and energy practitioner. And today we have a very special guest, Summer, all the way from Atlanta, Georgia. Welcome to the show, Summer.
Thank you, Bola, for such a nice intro. And thank you for inviting me on the show. This is a truly honored thing that I'm going to be able to do today, and I'm just thankful.
Thank you, Summer. I love the resonance that we have. We have time already before even starting, so thank you. I'm going to read a bit about your bio before we start.
Sure.
Over 12 years as a psychic medium, Summer channels, and she's also a spiritual life coach. She specializes in helping individuals to find clarity, connection, and purpose. Her practice includes conducting intuitive readings and mediumship sessions. Thank you again, Summer. So let's just kick off with the very first question. What is it that led you to this place where you are really now a powerful channel and an intuitive as well as a psychic medium? What led you to this place from your childhood? Was it something that you picked up just along the way, or did it start intuitively or on a particular day as a child?
Uh-huh. So, I can remember back as a child and, talking to my grandparents raised me for the majority of my childhood, and talking with my grandparents, like we would like have conversations, and they would mention things that are mentioned in, the Bible, I'll say, and I would be like, well, Granddaddy, that's not true. And I would get in trouble. Like I would get sent to my room and I would get in trouble. And there would be times where I just knew instinctively that some things that they were teaching wasn't authentic. It wasn't the truth of our reality. And it was really, and so I'm going to say probably around like 2008, 2009, me and my husband had just built a house, and I was going through the house, like answering questions like a little child would ask. Like I'd be like, well, this is a vacuum cleaner, and I use the vacuum cleaner to clean the dirt up out of the carpet and the floors from people coming in and out. And this is a dryer, and it dries my clothes after I wash them. And I was telling my best friend about it. And she's like, oh, you need to go see a medium here in Atlanta. And I'm like, well, what's a medium? Didn't even know what a medium was. This was like 2008. So less than 20 years ago. And I was like, so she explained it, and I was like, okay. So I made my appointment with the medium. And the morning of, I was sitting at my desk at work, and I was grabbed a hold of my hair, and literally I could hear voices circling my head. So if you think about the old like Looney Tune cartoons where a character would get bonked on the head and you see the stars circling around. So it was like that, but it was voices. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going crazy. I'm going to have to be institutionalized. And so I got to my appointment that afternoon with the medium, and she invited me in, and she sat me down, and she's like, the first thing I have to tell you is you're not crazy. And I was like, what? What? How do you know? Like, how do you know even to say that? And so she explained to me that I could hear voices. And then at that point on, it's like a light switch flipped on, and everything from that point to as far back as I remember made complete sense, made perfect sense, you know. And so that's kind of what started it, right? I started learning to doing readings and channeling for myself, and then I gradually moved into doing it for others, for friends, and then doing it for people I didn't know. And once I realized what this gift was and like honed in on it and improved it, I've just been pulled to help others, right? So if it's others that have gifts that need to explore and open up to those, are there individuals that are just challenging with life and moving through it, right? Like it's my job. I want to say job is my gift to be able to help people through that. And so that's why I'm here. And so yeah, it all came open to me. Like I've dealt with it all through my life, but didn't know what it was. I just thought it was me having conversations with me. But no, it was me having conversations with others.
Oh, I
But
love.
the little boy that lived in my house, the little spirit that lived in the house, his name was Ethan. He's the one that took it to the next level for me.
No, that's powerful. I'd want
Yeah.
to hear about that next level in a bit because it sounds like this is you going to going further into being a channel, actually channeling high dimensional beings as well. Uh,
Yeah.
I'd love to hear a bit more about that, but before we get there, I do want to really talk about how that experience that you had as a child and how you really came to go beyond the the constraints of the physical ego mind, because this reality that we're all in can be very real, even though we know that this is a projection from within us.
Mhm.
uh, this is what I've come to understand, that this reality is a projection of what is inside of us, because we are actually infinite beings, parts. Each of us is a unique part of the divine. um, and I really wanted to delve into that, because on a day to day it is not easy to step beyond that physical ego reality. It's not easy when people say, oh, it's an illusion, it's not real. The experience is very real. So
Mhm.
stepping into the spirit realm and the spirit beings that we truly are, the authentic beings that we truly are, is not always so easy. So I do want to ask you, Summer, what is the one thing that you feel, in terms of getting into embodying that spirit being, what the spirit world is like? What do you feel, or what do you believe, or what's your perspective around those misconceptions around what the spirit world is that really stops us from surrendering to it? What are the misconceptions that you have come to encounter?
I want to say that, the main thing to remember is that we're a part of that world, even though you can't actually see it. We're a part of that world and it embodies us, as we open up to it and allow. I think being able to step out of reality and of the reality that we actually live day to day, being able to be separate from that, right? And being able to look at whatever's going on from a place of love and understanding, right? I think is the key, is really the key, and realizing that whatever is happening for you and not to you. And I know that there are challenges that we all go through that is very difficult to understand that. It can be very difficult, like when you're getting your heart broken, or you lose a job that you love, or you lose your home for whatever reason, right? These are all happening for you to bring about a new sense of direction It can allow changes to bring into your reality that are needed, for the path that you signed up for. Right. And so it's just being able to understand that and embrace it and just take a step back. Right. And look at it from a positive perspective versus challenge it all the way. We don't want to be the salmon like swimming upstream, battling the stream and fighting the waters to get where we're going, because it's just going to be hard. You're going to be tired. You're going to be worn out. But instead, let's get a nice float and let's enjoy it. And let's float with it and see what comes along and embrace the changes and the challenges, the heartbreak and the triumphs that come along the way, because that makes us who we are. And those are things that we signed up for to take along this journey to experience. And so just being open for that.
Oh, thank you so much, Summer. Because honestly, there is such a choice that we have to make. And
Yes.
it's whether we align to light or we align to the shadow. And it's not about the shadow being wrong or the light being right. It's really about us understanding that we are empowered beings and we will always have choice in this duality. It may look like we have no choice, that everything is happening beyond our capacity or capabilities, but the community we are serving, the people we align to, may have one view or another. Some may believe in spirit and some may not. And this podcast is definitely about believing in spirit. For those who are watching or listening to this, you already are familiar with how spirit impacts on you. The fact that spirit does exist, that we are spirit, and taking that pause, being aware, and actually allowing ourselves to align more and more deepens our connection. And it's a journey. It's not something that happens overnight. But I would love to ask you, Summer, you talked about Ethan and how Ethan helped you go to another level. This next bit is really about asking that next level. Once we know what spirit is, we know we are spirit beings, we know we are connecting to not just our own higher self or higher self of those who we love but who have passed to the other side, or beings or spirit guides or interdimensional beings. Once we come to know they all exist, how do we begin to develop our own understanding and our own connections or our own gifts? How did that happen for you? And what advice or insights can you share for those who may be wanting to connect deeper with that?
Trust, right? Trust is the foundation of it, right? And having trust that the universe and has your back. So the universe and everything encompasses it has your back. That's the very first thing, right? You got to trust. You got to trust the information is coming through. For me to build that trust, I am a data analyst by heart. I will analyze something till it's like in shreds. So for me to be able to do that, I had to journal. And so I would, when I started my gift, I did automatic writing. And so I would just keep a journal of my automatic writings. And then I would go back, and I tell people this today, those that are learning and embarking on this journey, I encourage them to keep a journal and write down, what comes to them, do their automatic writing in there, and then set it aside. Put a date on it, like it started in January and it ended in June, let's just say. After it's done, a few months after it's done, go back and read it from the beginning and just keep little tick marks of everything that happened versus everything that didn't happen. And I guarantee you the things that didn't happen are going to be like 4 or 5, and the things that did happen are going to be huge. Like when I did mine, I was like 98 percentile, like on the mark, right? And only 2% not. And that 2%, I wouldn't say that somebody's actually wrong. I would just say that the path changed, right? And so we have multiple paths to take throughout our lives. So the path just changed. It doesn't mean you were wrong at the point in time when that information was given. just something happened that changed the path of that information. Right. So definitely journal, go back and read it and keep track of what actually came through, right? And whatever happened. That's the best way, because that gives you validation. That gives you a validation that you can't get anywhere else, right? Because it's strictly between you and your guides or whoever's coming through and channeling for you. So that's the best way to do it. I encourage people, like, if you want to start doing readings for other individuals, like psychic readings for other individuals, do it with friends and ask them to be just authentic and truthful with you on how the reading was. Don't sugarcoat it. I need it. And then those friends will also come back and validate stuff for you later on. They'll say, oh, this reading you gave me, back in February. Well, guess what? It happened, and this is what happened. So they'll validate that for you. And then the number one thing after that is you got to trust what's coming through, regardless if it doesn't resonate with whoever you're giving that information to at the time. You've got to trust, and don't look for validation on the individual's face. I've had to stop doing that. If you look for validation that's coming from them, then you're going to have that self-doubt, and you're going to question if the information is trustworthy and true. So don't look for the validation. You got to trust it in your heart, right? And just know that it's there. And that's the number one thing, for it. When it came to Ethan, I wanted to channel. Like, that was something that I was driven to. So I wanted to channel. So the first 3 years that I channeled, I would only channel Ethan. But then I started opening myself up to channel other entities. And that's where I can feel the entities that come in. They're stronger energetically. Their vibrational levels are higher. And just, I can feel them more than I can hear them, because when I channel them now, I step back and go into a trance channel and just let them come through, but I can feel them, and they just feel so much different. Right. I mean, it's pretty amazing. I wish I could explain it, but a little better, but I don't think there's any human words that can really do that.
I agree. Totally agree with you. Having a client who, whilst I was giving them a prediction, I used another name. I called them another name. It was, it never happened to me before. And then I realized when I checked the meaning of the name that it meant their name, as well as them now being accepted into the lineage of ancestors. It was about how that activation had led to them now having to embody another name. I totally agree with you. It's really about trusting and digging further, understanding it if we choose to understand it more. But I love what you said about automatic writing and how really there's a lot of trust that we need to have, because there's a lot of information outside of us that we've been conditioned to hold, that these activities are not necessarily to our best outcomes. And I've come to understand that that is not the case. So having said that, I would love you to do some trance channeling for us, if that's
Okay.
Summer.
Sure.
If you just tell us a bit about what what to expect, and maybe the beings, or maybe you trust the higher self to bring whoever is relevant, and then I can ask you some other questions today. Is that
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. So the first thing I do is I take off my glasses, because it keeps me from, it just helps. I don't know. It's kind of a mental thing. But I definitely take off my glasses first. So if you're ever in a session with me and you see me take my glasses off, you know it's coming, right? That's just kind of like my sign for that. I'll take them off, and then, so I can already feel the pressure, the energy kind of coming in. So this will be interesting. It's a little bit, I'm just trying to ground myself to the energy, because it's pretty powerful. I like to talk about what I'm going through so people kind of understand until I get there. All right. I gotta fold at my desk so my hands don't get in the way. All right. Mm. Thank you for the offer to be here today. We're glad to be a part of your audience.
Thank you so much. Would you want to tell us who you are, where you've come from at this time?
We are the Pleadians, and I am the spokesperson for the group that's here today. And the group that's here today, we can consider ourselves the Armana. Armana is the closest sound in the name of which your language can understand. We are a group of Pleadians that have agreed with Summer to come and to bring about messages that your planet is going to need during these times of change. Yes? And so we are the voice for others to hear, to heal, grow, and learn. Many across your planet are going through such challenging, tormental times. And we say to you that don't despair, that all of this is necessary. And this is necessary for your planet to continue to rise its vibrational levels to a greater vibration than you've ever experienced on this planet before. And is here to help enlighten those and help awakening souls that are still asleep. And there's more changes that are going to come, but we promise you that once these come through, and at the end of it, that your planet will be full of different vibrational levels that you've never experienced. And I'm going to tell you that as you open up to experiencing these things, it comes from your heart-centered energy, and it flows throughout the atmosphere, and it connects others. And we encourage you to embrace this change and open up and embody these higher vibrational levels so that as one, you can all grow and you all learn and you all embrace your heart centers to be spread around the world for healing and forgiving and for unity.
We are living in this world of duality, and we've come here by choice, but it is such a challenge sometimes to really embrace that oneness within us. You've mentioned some of that already, but could you give us some steps that we could take to really make it much easier for us to step into that place of oneness in times of chaos, in times of grief? How can the average person or even the involved entrepreneur become much more aligned to oneness?
We say to you to open your heart and don't, many of the physical beings on your planet have these walls of protection around their heart because they've been heartbroken, whether it's from their parents or from their boyfriend or girlfriend or a loved one, right? Or a best friend. Like they have this protective wall that's around your heart. We encourage you to break through that protection and allow your heart center to beam out to all around you and to embrace love. Love is all healing. Love is all giving. And when you can separate your ego from your heart, then you can live a magnificent life while you're on your planet at this time. We also encourage you to be able to step out of your ego. So your ego is here to protect you. And hundreds of years ago, thousands of years ago, it did a magnificent job of that because it taught you to protect yourself from dangers that are coming your way. However, in today's world, in your world today, that ego is overbearing for all that's here. And so being able to silence the ego and bring in the energy of love and projecting that outwards is the way to move through the time that you're in at this moment. And so the more that you can do that, the happier you're going to be. And guess what? People are going to hurt your feelings. People are going to break up with you. People are going to say things that are not pleasant. But when that hurt comes in, that hurt is your ego. It's not yourself. It's not your heart. So embrace a loving, heart-centered energy that moves outward to all around you. I would like to invite individuals that do have the ability to see visions or to picture things, right? And those who can only feel, I invite you to take this into a feeling sense, but imagine or feel a beautiful white light coming down from the heavens and into your heart chakra and beaming outwards, right? Beaming outwards with love and safety, for all, because you're all safe here. You're eternal beings. Life never truly ends. It only continues in a different form. So realizing that you're safe and that love is all healing, you have an amazing gift upon you and amazing awakenings that can happen. We say to you, take time to love yourselves. Take time to heal not only your bodies, but your mind and your spirit and your soul. And remember that you are always loved. You're never alone. And life has your back. And we're always here for you. Thank you for this opportunity. We cannot express enough how wonderful this is for us.
Thank you so much for coming. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming to join us today.
Blessed. Totally blessed. Thank you. Ooh. Hi.
Thank you for doing that.
Sorry, I get like chills all over my body.
So wonderful, wonderful. Are you good to go?
Yeah, that was definitely different. I can like my whole body is like I got goosebumps from head to toe.
Is this what happens every time you channel, or is this unusual?
This was a bit unusual, yeah. Yes, I've never heard that voice before. So that was different. Just the whole feel of it was just like softer but bolder. It was stronger and bolder but softer at the same time. And I've never heard that voice before. And I've never got chills like this before. So
do you remember any of the things that were said, or you'd have to watch this at another time?
There's a couple of like words that I can remember. Is more of a feeling, right? It was more of the feeling of it for anything. So yeah, I would definitely be watching this, right? To see and to hear it, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, it was a very powerful, loving message. The end was very loving. There was a lot of wisdom in it, a lot of understanding of the human condition, the human predicament. And, there is definitely a lot of inspiration that a lot of those who watch this will receive.
Nice.
So thank you so much.
I'll get for myself when I get to watch it.
But I also wanted to ask you, Summer, is there anything that you want to share about what you're currently doing? I know you also have a YouTube channel, you're writing a book. So tell us about the projects that you're doing right now.
So the one that I'm most excited about is I have a book. I'm working with Balboa Press. The book is Embracing Your Inner Shadow and Making It Through the Storm, coming out, surviving the storm. And I put in the book, I've added some of my own experiences as well. to let readers know that they're not alone, right? That we're all here doing this journey, and we all have those things. So it's like, there's like a storm that you can feel brewing inside of you, that may put you into anxiety, overstress, may be defensive, have bursts of angers. And so this book is just about stepping into that space and with a courageous and being courageous and processing what's happening, right? Because a lot of these happen from our childhood, things that are put on us as childhood, like children are to be seen and not heard. I mean, even though that's a very simple statement, it's also a very powerful one, right? And I can tell you that throughout my lifetime, that has definitely impacted how I've handled situations, right? And so it's just identifying the triggers and letting go of things that we were taught in our childhood that no longer resonate with us today, and setting a new path forward, right? And identifying your inner compass and finding your inner lighthouse to guide you out of it, right? So I'm truly excited. So I'm expecting the book to come out in like August or September timeframe. So super about that. And it could be found it'd be found in bookstores and on Amazon. I know that for sure. So embracing your inner shadow.
So powerful.
Yeah.
Totally agree. It's a powerful book. This is the work that we have all come to do, to really understand that being within us. We have to first embrace the shadow, go through it, and come out of it.
Yeah.
Some of us believe that we should stay in that shadow. That's okay. There is no one hat that fits all. Everybody has come to explore the.
Yeah.
So I am aligning with you with that, with your book, and I'm looking forward to
Nice.
actually, getting a copy of that book when it does come out. I also have a book, Daily Soul Bites. Daily Soul Bites is really a book that was really channeled. I channeled this during the pandemic, and I had self-published it, and then Press um, published it again in 2023 in
Nice.
so it's in paperback as well as an audiobook format. And it's really talking about the different perspectives of self. We have this higher selves, which are usually aligned to light and love. And we also have those perspectives of shadow, which are usually about fear and anxiety. And every one of us has these perspectives. And it really about this book really activates a deeper awareness of these perspectives and encourages an alignment to one, knowing that we are not victims, we're empowered beings, and we can, with practice, align more and more to the loving perspectives. And then that brings us more into that neutral space, which is the perspective of infinite divine self. And I will encourage those who are watching or listening to grab a copy of Summer's book as well as of Daily Soul Bites, because they're all talking about alignment to light. And what other projects do you have going? I know you're starting a YouTube.
Yeah, so yes, I just started a YouTube channel. Actually, there's two. There's one is just be true, and it's just -be-true. And so I do oracle card readings on the air. I'd have intuitive lessons on the air, as well. And I'm going to get to where I do channel messages on the air. Just haven't gotten to that, but I promise I will. And then I have another one, Truth and Light, Truth and Light. And I do that with another individual, and we read photos and questions that people send in for that. And so we do that like twice a month. And so it's really, so somebody submits a picture and we do a photo reading. The individual would have to have passed on, no longer living. And then people can call in. There's like a phone number that people can call in and leave messages for us to answer as well. So a lot of times that's dream interpretations, or somebody just may have a general question. And the photos can be of individuals pets or places. So it's pretty neat. And it's something a friend of mine, she wanted to test her intuitive gifts. So I put her out there like, okay, this is how we can do it. Right. And so, so that's a lot of fun as well.
I love that. And what's the name of your YouTube channel again, as well as the website where those who want to connect with you can find
Yeah.
you?
So my website is Just Be True. So it's the word just dash be dash true dot com. And you have to do the dashes in there. And then the YouTube channel is the same thing. Just Be True. And then the other thing that we do is on Truth and Light on YouTube.
So wonderful. Thank
Yeah.
you so much,
Thank
Summer.
you. This has been amazing.
I think it's been amazing. Definitely. I do resonate with that. It's been
Yeah.
absolutely outstanding. Thank you also for channeling the Pleiadians. That was really nice. And I do look forward to broadcasting this and promoting your book. And I hope that everything goes well with your YouTube channel as well.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. And same for you and what you're doing. I appreciate what you do here. It's amazing. I listen to your channel, your podcast, and I love it. So thank you.
Thank you, Summer. And I do want to thank those who are watching, our audience who are listening, and to invite you to connect with Summer and look out for her book, and also to connect with Daily Soul Bytes book, available anywhere books are sold online, and to subscribe to Daily Soul Bytes show. We always have new, exciting, outstanding experts every Wednesday. And I look forward to seeing you again on the next episode of the Daily Soul Bytes show. Bye bye.